Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the news version earlier, then you can go to Patreon, which is $3 a month for this and other games. So, on the last Let's Play, we got the heck out of there. Through the same way we came in because something was coming up. Could be either a lizard person, maybe, or some kind of horrible slithering monster thing. But we got out of that mine, coinless, and came across by the Hendrix, or, the Ram guy, and William the Sheriff, who William was not happy with us, but we're kind of able to bluff ourselves by being like, hey, we are at the mine/crime scene because we want to become a miner. They were showing us around it, and at each point he was like furious, but yeah, we are maybe gonna become a miner. But yeah, we're sleeping at the bunkhouse, gonna rest up our face, and begin. Then I close my eyes and wait for sleep to take me. I feel my consciousness fade, until my eyes snap open and I wipe the cold sweat from my brow. I lie awake in the little bed. There's a chorus of snoring all around me. I hear tossing and turning the bunks all around me. Some moaning. Another man crying in his sleep. Moonbeams shine through the windows, making the room glow. I turn around my bunk to look for Yao, maybe to wake him. But he's staring into the ceiling, wide awake, head in his arms. Head in his arms? Yeah. He catches my gaze and stares back. I beckon him forward with my paw. He shifts around on the bed, turning to me. I made my voice as low as possible. I meant to ask you something earlier. It's about when we were down in the mines. Down that room you found him in. You feel something before we left those mines, didn't you, or felt? The tiger stares hard. I did. So did I. It was a feel, right? You felt something. And I hear it too, when you went on ahead. What is it, Yao? I do not know. It did not walk or sound like any miner I had heard before. But that's not the first time I've encountered something scrambling around in the dark down there. But what do you think it could be? My goal is to never get close enough to find out. Might be worth knowing. Could be a wild animal. And if it is, well, then you know. And then you're enclosed in a tight space with a wild animal. Likely a hungry one at that. I feel like this tiger could take on pretty much many animals, unless there's like a bear in there, like a bear. Do bears exist in this universe? There's bear people. I know that. That's true. Good night, friend. I cross my arms and sink into the mattress. Good night. I toss and turn in this uncomfortable bed before I can finally start to feel myself slip away. Yeah, that's the problem. That scene could have definitely been in the last episode, but then it's like, well, it could have also been 10, 20 minutes longer. But this game's unlike Sileo, which is a good game, but still, it's like, that game, scenes can drag out. Ratty voices wake me up. The sounds of clanging pots, ruffling sheets, and slamming metal lockers make my head throb. My shoulders ache from the night on the hard mattress, but I manage to drag myself out of the bed. There are a few surprised glances from some of the men, but no vocalized greetings. I hear many different accents and simple phrases in my broken language. Nick and Yao are already dressed and collecting tools. You're awake. I was worried. We have to start our shift soon. Do you remember where the hiring office is? Of course, the quarry. My memory's not that bad. You're hurt, so it could be. He pulls me into a tight hug that could break me in half if you wanted, and claps me on the back. I wish I could be there for you. It was easy the first time I did it. Just come to me if you run into trouble. We will see you at lunch. I don't see why they're so worried. I've had a job interview before. At this company even. Then again, it has been 2 years. Okay, so he has at least applied. Maybe things have changed much more than I remember. The fancy-looking office at the top of the quarry is as neat as I can remember, as neat as I remember it. The young secretary looks like some kind of polecat, and gives me a look. Mr. Ayers, for the 10:30, I presume? Yes, ma'am. She picked up a telephone with one hand and slid the rotary dial. Uh-huh. That's him. Yeah, I know that he's early. Well, okay then. Her eyes narrowed as she tilted her head. You can go in now. Ah, thank you. The needle-eyed secretary doesn't answer and goes back to pounding keys on the typewriter. When I enter here, the office is mostly how I remember it. A large desk separates a small room in half, with 2 shelves on either side. Who has a desk with 2 seats in the back? On my side, there's a stool to sit on. On the other, 2 comfy armchairs. To the left is the man who I'm starting to get used to seeing, James Hendricks. To the right is the sharp-eyed hound I've never seen before. He has an uncomfortable kind of gaze. The scrutinizing kind that doesn't blink enough. So have you to show up on time, Samuel. The most important part of the job is always keeping your commitments. That's funny. I don't remember telling this man my name. That's very true, sir. Mr. Hendricks will do. The dour-looking soul over there is Mr. Briggs, my partner and the co-owner of Derica Mines. I expect the other man to laugh, but he doesn't. I wonder if this is the suspect of, who might have burned down the house of the Hendricks, or maybe it's this place here at, in Murdoch Street? Don't know. Just somebody that he was afraid of came over. I don't feel familiar with either of these two, so I just nod. He tells me that you worked here before. You have a file. I'll be considering this interview, conducting this interview. Last time I applied for a mine job, I interviewed with the secretary. I was given an assignment packet and conditions, and what I earned was fairly cut and dry. These 2 men are the owners of the biggest mine in the state. Something isn't normal here. Samuel Ayers, age 23, 1913, born in Magnolia State, no felonies. Compliant, but consistently did not maintain his own equipment. Physically fit, but hesitant to take on a challenge. Let me ask you, Mr. Ayers, are you happy here? Another day, another dollar, Mr. Briggs. Now, there's a positive attitude. The hound's lips go tight to form a sideways smirk as he tilts his head. Now, you see, Mr. Ayers, that's not what I asked, and if you don't answer what I ask, we're going to run into problems sooner or later. I asked if you were happy, which is another way of asking, were you grateful? You see, you have people from all over the world who would love to work here. Immigrants from every coast, from the Orient, from Europa, the southern lands, hell, even from the jungle, I'm willing to bet. We're the first line of supply to building a new world, Mr. Ayers. So, if that doesn't make you happy, you might want to just walk out the door, like you did 2 years ago. So, if Yao's plan works, that means you're going to rob this motherfucker. That puts a smile on my face. Now, Mr. Briggs. A blunt edge can cut the fur, but a razor that tidies but the razor that tidies the scruff. You're close with an immigrant, Nicholas King, yes? Now, wasn't there a thing where he was maybe kind of threatening us? I think that was in Williamsroot, but I can't remember. Again, it was like, a year ago, give or take. Stuck at the hip, one would say. Though maybe that's just a turn of phrase. Is he now? How does he know that? I've never met this man until yesterday. Mr. Ayers, one of our current troubles is that Nicholas is one of our best workers, but I fear he's run away with some wild ideas. Unfair, unfounded ideas, I must add. It would make his life much easier if you were to rein those thoughts in, or to have somebody to encourage him to. I think you would be uniquely suited to that role, yes? Somebody has been spying on me. Enough to know what I do, and what I do for Nick. So apparently not enough to know the worst thing I've done. Somebody from the hip then? Well, all good men who just want to work. We're all good men who just want to work for what we're given. Nick's not the boat rocking type. I can talk most nonsense out of him. Do you support labor unions of any kind? Because here at Amazon, we're against unions. Sorry, I don't know what a union is. That doesn't matter. Do you intend to support any labor movements in the future? I couldn't say. Joining any labor union is grounds for immediate termination. Oh, so kind of like working in America. Or, working in right-for-work states. Gotta love them. So, why haven't you fired them yet? He looks up at me. There's a probing look, but then he smiles again. I was under the impression that you were giving this interview. I wasn't under the impression that you were giving this interview. He looks down again at the contents of my folder. Will you purchase and maintain your own equipment if employed here again? I'd be happy to cover those costs. Let's just call it a hunch that this is a good investment. Everything's in order then. The Hound slaps my folder on the table. Deliver this to Miss Miranda. You start tomorrow. How's it that we can have two jobs? I mean, I guess at the hip, it's like doing an odd job here and there and then getting fucked in the ass or sucking. I'm surprised. I still am surprised with Sam's build that he isn't the one on top. Though I guess, if you're like, in older days, they might be like, well, I might have sex with men, but I have to be the dominant one. Now it's just a ton of bottoms. Ooh. I follow their instructions, handing his new folder to the eagle-eyed secretary in the entryway. She replaces some of the papers, hands me back a folder, and tells me to keep it and read it to prepare for tomorrow. Somehow, walking into the blazing heat, the afternoon sun scorching my back and my neck, feels less oppressive than that office. I know that feeling. I hear the high noon gun go off, and I make my way back to the bunks. You could probably. I wonder if it kind of sounds like some kind of English murder mystery thing where it's like, this person was shot, but when were they shot? We don't know. And it's like, they were shot at the noon gun and at the time of the noon gun, so that thing would be covered. Murder mystery. Nick and Yao are there before me, sitting at the small kitchen table, dipping their spoons into bowls of watery stew. Nick meets me with a smile. Did you run into any problems? No, they hired me. I held the larger folder up and slapped it with the back of my paw. The badger chuffs and snatched it from me, opening it up to look it over. Yao looked over his shoulder. Nick's face fell. Hey. What? They put him with us? So they did. Yao mutters something under his breath, but I catch it. Si guai lao. Sorry, I'm gonna have to do my sign thing. I still am interested in what was that? 41 NAO? Translate. Oh, detect language. Probably Chinese. SEIGWAIL. That. Chinese simplified. Oh, it'd be nice if I could do that little E thing. Can I, like, type in the E? SE? How do you do that E thing? Yeah, screw it, I'm not that interested. It says SEI foreign building? Maybe I have to type in, like, certain things in there. Like if I put this O here, which changes something, but doesn't. It's not Icelandic. Does he look like he's from Iceland? I don't know, actually. I mean, Arvo's from like Finland or something. You know, from Donchorus. He's not ready for that kind of work. I've held a few carts around before. Sorry, I was just scratching my nose and stuff. Reset face. They'll expect you to detonate explosives. Or construct scaffolding. It can't be that hard. Can it? If you do anything wrong, that could cause a cave-in. It could kill us all. However, misfortunate choices aside, if he learns how to work with explosives, he will have another man who... now how to extract the ore. No, how to extract the ore. I swear I can read. He only has to do this for 1 week. We can ensure that he's not forced to do anything reckless. But it's not sensible to place him there. What would inspire them to? I think I know. Both of them look at me. Well, why then? I bring my fists to my face to clear my throat. Both Mr. Briggs and Mr. Hendricks interviewed me for this job. Both the bosses? Interviews are lower management grunt work. Something's not right. They ask me some stupid shit, like if I plan to join a union. As if I even know what a union is. Both of them look at each other. And Hendricks seemed to know about isnt. What things? Who I am, and what I do. The tiger looks scared. He knows what happened to Jack? What? No. No? A surge of relief spreads across his face. Then, what are you talking about? Nick sends me a look, like he would deck me if I didn't shut my mouth right now. That face. But I know he wouldn't, because it's Nick. The effect gets me to clamp up, regardless. It would seem that my days working here are numbered. I know that feeling, my dude. I've been let go from 3 jobs. One of them was for a stupid reason, like, do I have time for it? Well, one was I made a small mistake that could be easily fixed, and I feel like they just want to get rid of me because reasons. Because I was maybe more safety conscious and would be like, hey, this seems unsafe. Another one was, for a definitely legitimate reason, which was, hey, I was contract and prices were dropping a whole bunch, and oil, so they're like, hey, we don't, immediate cut of contractors. And then my current job, it's just like, I don't know, we're trying to be competitive, so we're getting rid of this position. I was like, thanks. That might not be the case. Mr. Hendrick seemed to think you were one of his best workers. I think he might think that me being around would keep you from leaving. Which would mean that he may not know about our plan. I'm starting to feel frustrated whenever this tiger interrupts me. Should I shut him down? What? Why would I shut him down? It's all way too suspicious. He doesn't seem like the type of guy that would be, what do you mean suspicious? I rub the back of my neck and sigh. Is something wrong? No. Well, actually. You know, Nick keeps telling you things about me without even asking. And the two of you are up to something without letting me know what it is. In spite of the fact that it clearly involves my participation a good deal. It's just too similar to other situations I've been in before. You know? Perhaps I'm making too much of a fuss. The tiger tilts his head, then looks from me first, then at Nikolai. You have not been debriefing him? Nick looks embarrassed. I told you earlier that I did not want to overwhelm him with details. He will only be further overwhelmed if he doesn't know what he's doing and why. Friend? Samuel. I will not rely on Nick as your messenger. I will speak to you directly from now on, considering you are one of us now. Who's us exactly? The men who met at the stag. The who? He's talking about a work organization. The union? Yes, the union. Ain't that suspicious? As you have confessed, the bosses are already suspicious of you. They have openly revealed to you that Nikolai's affiliations are known, which means that his job security and his safety aren't jeopardized. Unless we apply pressure. Pressure? The other men need to know and plan for this. Joining the union's specifically the one thing they told me not to do. You'll find that if you always follow what your bosses tell you to do, you will not last very long. But nobody will make you join that, I think. It is likely that you already know some of the men, Sam. It may not seem suspicious to be drinking with them. Yao's tail swishes as he looks between the two of us, as if he was still trying to put something together, but couldn't. I am confused by the manner of your association, but if you want to have my full trust, then show yourself at the stag at 7 p.m. tonight. He stomps over to his bunk, snags a piece of paper, and scribbles on it. Here's the address. I will return to work on my own. I do not like this, but that is perhaps for the best. I can only hope that I have not attracted suspicion as well. The tiger doesn't waste time leaving. I'm wary of him already, Sam? Well, you're the one who knows him. I get the sense you feel conflicted about him. I'm ashamed to admit that this is how I feel. But I do not want you to feel emboldened by his rash ideas. What, the union ones? Or the gold mine ones? Yao can pull off many things others cannot. And if you tried to be more like him, well, that would just do no good, would it? Gee, thanks for your confidence, Nick. But even so, he always sticks his neck out for me. Even when he doesn't have to. Maybe it's because he knew he could rope you into something like this. I would have done the same for him if I found gold. I never really pinned you as a criminal. And I can say the same thing for you. Okay. Hey, it's self-defense. But I did not think of myself in that way. We should not have to do these things to survive. But if anybody could succeed at this, I believe it's Yao. But you already experienced a great deal of guilt and suffering. You do not have to be part of this. I know, but also, stealing from rich people is, at the very bottom of the list of sins, just saying. But I know that I saw something in those mines. You're upset. Yao knows there's something down there too. Like what? I don't know. I think it's something unnatural. He grabs me by the wrist again. Sam. I couldn't even move away from if I tried. Do you really think anything could hurt me if it wanted to? Maybe if it snuck up on you in the dark. Or if it's not a person. You're worried about or for me? What? No, wait. That is what this is. Wait, that is what this is? They said your name, Nick. They know why they docked your wages. Wait, I know why they docked your wages. They don't like you. And they're making you do all this dangerous stuff. Or this dangerous stuff? All the while, there's God knows what slithering around down there. Some kind of monster. You take me in and hold me, and I lose you money. And now, you put yourself back in a job that you hated? Can you not see how guilty this makes me? I just want to protect you. Why? You're the one who needs protection. We're up against the wall. He's heaving, and his temper has made him feel hot. I've never once felt frightened below the ground. Oh, because he's a badger. But I felt frightened, thinking any time I hold you can be the last time. Because you need to work. And I need to find somebody I do not have to pay to hold. Or find some way to pay to hold you forever. Pay you what you're really worth. Not with pennies. Yeah, CG. His eyelids is squeezing out a tear. His grip around my wrist is so tight that it hurts. But when I grab his arm with my free hand, it slackens. I hook my arm around his waist, let him know that he doesn't have to hold back. So he doesn't. He leans into me, tilting his head to wrap his jaw around mine. Jaw? And he snarls when his tongue laps at mine inside my own mouth. I can't help but rumble too, like we're fighting. Like he's the first person I've ever met who has the capacity to overpower me. Or anybody who would try to hurt me. And he wants me to know it. But he ends the kiss with a smack, still panting. I have to go back to work now. So you do. We stand together, panting, both aching from the strain in our trousers. But we have to let it die down. It takes me several deep breaths before I can get soft, and a drop of pre is tucked to the side of my leg, stuck. You'll be at the stack tonight, yes? Of course. Alright. See you then. My arm hangs loosely as he lets go of my hand, leaving the slack. I figure it's high time for me to go too. I hate these times where I have nothing to do in between times. I know I have too much to do. But I just can't think of anything straight. Can't think about anything straight right now. Because you're gay. Though also, I'm thinking that this is a scene change, right? Yeah. I just want to be in bed with Nick. I didn't want him to go back to work. Not there. Not away from me. But I know I should tell Dora and Cynthia where I've been. What I've been doing. But if I go back in town, William could find me before. William could find me before I risk it. If I were him, I'd look for me at the hip, knowing that I'd have to come back sooner or later. The question for myself is, do I risk it? How drastic would William act if he found me? If worse comes to worse, I could find a way to calm him down. He'd probably been too busy to get off the last few days. I do find it's like, what happens if he tries to arrest me? Well, I could suck his dick. I could use that. But surely, I can come up with something to explain myself. Myself and Nick. Nothing coming to me still. Wait. I could tell William about the gold. That's a perfect alibi for the both of us. Wait, no. That's just another crime. Fuck. Okay, now we'll cut it. Because, you know, we are at the 30-minute mark. Though I do kind of want to look at that other scene. Load. Skip ahead. Blah, blah, blah. Just want to see what the other thing would be. Plan, I don't know if it goes real or not. Show me today, Sam. Okay. What was the other one? He seems helpful. I mean, it does seem helpful. Oh, but that will have to be saved for another time. So, please comment, cause I like comments that you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my YouTube and would like to see growth, then please like, subscribe, and check out the rest of the room. Please remember to remain new and most have control of the pet population. And if you want to play this game, it's available free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the news version earlier, you can go to Patreon, where it's $3 a month for this and other games like Glory Hound. Because let's see, what do we have on the lista? We have Echo, and eventually when you finish Echo, we'll start Arches. We got Glory Hounds coming after Dawn Chorus. And of course, the Smoke Room. Because anyways, until next time. Spain Ramos, and the next time, me, GamerWolfSix Smoke Room. Which I thought it was like the hip in general, but I didn't know it was just, you know, the main character getting penis. Anyways, thanks and see ya.